Hello everyone, I'm Roddy, and in this video I'm going to try to explain how to convert samples to use on the Namco 163 sound chip. Here's an example. One of my covers is using the Namco 163 chip. As you can see, these are the waveforms used on it. Alright, so I believe you already have your samples ready to convert, but in my case, when I don't have a sample to use, I have to find it. In many games that I go often for Super Nintendo games, but there's a reason for that, because there's a little tool that I use, it's called SPC to IT, and it converts any SPC files to an OpenMPT file. Here's an example, rocket belt from Pilot Wings. You just open it with the SPC to IT, and it creates the IT file for you. And as you can see, there's the samples folder, and everything is there. And the best reason that I use it because it already gives me the loop points for it. It helps me out a lot. If you already got a sample ready to use, open the OpenMPT, click on File, New, OpenMPT Module, and then click on Samples, and then click Import Sample, and then grab your sample. It's gonna open up here just fine. For simplicity, I'm gonna get this one sample, not this one, but I'm gonna get this sample as an example for using this video. So when you zoom in, you can see there's quite a pattern here that repeats, or it's very similar to the previous one. That's the waveform. That's what you're gonna feed the Namco 163 chip. To get started with it, first we're gonna go all the way back, and let's see the first recognizable pattern, which I believe it's this one. So on the rest to the beginning, you see there's a little cut. It's a little silent part, waveform. You're gonna delete it. So the reason why I do that is for another tool that I use. It's gonna help out where do we start splitting the sample. Even deleted that, it's gonna still sound the same. So don't worry about that. So after we do that, we're gonna click on Save Sample, and we're gonna give it a name. It's like voice. I believe that's a voice. So we click on Save. We're not gonna close this just yet. We're gonna open up Audacity, and we're gonna put the WAV file here. The reason that I'm gonna use Audacity, believe it or not, this is where we're gonna extract the Namco 163 sample. So how do we start extracting? Do I go to the first waveform and then extract it and then go to the next one? No. The reason for that is because the NES updates the audio at 60 Hz, and this is running at 12,539 Hz. We need to split the sample very correctly. So I think it's one here, and then the other one is all the way to here, I believe. So we have to split it correctly. So how do we split the frames correctly? There's a little tool that I made in Game Maker. I don't have a name for this, but it automatically does the job for you. We just need to input the refresh rate, which is 60 Hz, the total sample length, where do we get it? And it's right here, 3,229. We input that here in the sample rate, which is 12,539, 12,539. We click OK, and this doesn't really matter. I just forgot to remove it. And then it's gonna open a text file, and this gives us 15 frames to extract. So what does this number means? The first number is the frame number. This is frame number 0, frame number 1, frame number 2, and so on. and these other numbers are the sample number. Here on the first frame it says 0, so we go to the cursor 0, which is the first right at the beginning. That's why I said for you to cut up to the first recognizable waveform. So we go and select the first waveform. And here it says 48 samples, the cursor positioning. It goes up to 0 to 48. So we go back to Audacity, and here on the audio position, on the default it's gonna be right here, I believe. So we click on the little arrow here and we go to samples, set it to samples. So back in OpenMPT it's gonna say the cursor start position and the cursor end position. That's what we're gonna input here on the samples start and end of selection. It's already at 0, and this in the end one is gonna be 48. If it's not selected here, it's gonna be in white. We just click back on it and we input it again because I don't know what happens with Audacity. To extract it, there's a quite unuseful Nyquist script that wasn't made by me, but I'm gonna put it in the description, of course. So we put it here, we click OK. It's gonna say the N163-FDS waveform. Of course, you're gonna put it on Namco 163 and the wave size. How do we set the wave size? As you can see, here it says 48 samples. Choosing a number close to that 48 samples, it's gonna have a better quality, but also it's gonna take more space of the Namco 163 RAM. If you choose a lower value, it's gonna have a lower quality, but also it's gonna save some RAM space. I'm gonna choose 48. And then normalized result, I often choose yes, but this doesn't really matter. So just leave it on yes. Then we click OK. And there we have it. Here is the output that we're gonna put on the Namco 163 instrument. So we copy that, go to Family Tracker, create a new instrument, and go to Wave and paste. And there we have it. There's the waveform. That's the first waveform, and it looks identical to the one that we got. So after that, we're going to the second frame, which is at position 215. So we go back to OpenMPT and we go to 215, which is right here. As you can see, cursor 215. But it's right in the middle of the sample. So what do we do here? We go back to the beginning of the sample, of the waveform. So we select the entire waveform again, and as you can see, it's at position 186 to 33. So we go to Audacity and input here 186 to 33, and then we open that, Nyquist prompt, OK, and then select it again, copy that, add a new wave and paste, and we repeat that for the entirety of the other frames. I'm gonna make a time lapse so you can see the final result of it. And there you have it. All 15 frames added to the instrument. So let's get the loop points. So the loop point is at 3229. So it's almost at the last frame. And it really repeats for just one sample, so this one can be the last one. So we go back, go to wave index, and then we set that the frame that we just set. And then we just play the note. You see, it's identical. Just so you know that this doesn't work in every sample you try. It only works in simple waveforms like this, where you can see each waveform. It most likely you're gonna notice the waveform in sample that there's just one note going on at a time. Chords doesn't work because all the notes and frequencies are gonna be all mixed up, and the waveform is gonna be unrecognizable. So yeah, that's a quick explanation of how I turn samples into the Namco 163 sound chip. Hope you liked it, and hopefully I explained it enough so you can understand it. If not, just leave a comment and I'll just explain it to you better. Yeah, thanks for watching.